Today's episode is brought to you by White Glove Car Wash. You know wintertime is coming, and you know what that means. Salt and brine on the roads. The leaves are going to start falling. You're going to have crap all over your car in no time. There's no better place to get it spick and span than a White Glove Car Wash. Now offering unlimited packages starting as low as $25 a month. You can go and get your car washed as many times as you want, so you can get any level of car enthusiast in your life the best gift that they can ask for. The ability to go daily and get that little perfect car of theirs clean, spick, and span. White Glove Car Wash with locations in Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. You are never too far from the glove. All you have to do is ask your phone, take me to White Glove Car Wash, and your phone is going to direct you to the best car wash in the tri-state area. Let them know that Talkin 215 sent you. What is going on, everybody? It is that favorite week of the season. It is Dallas week, and why would we not have anyone other than Tomahawk T-Bone Steaks, the Eagles Twitter master, the Cowboy ruffler, the feather ruffler? I don't know where I was going with that. We got Tommy Steaks on the pod for Dallas week. How we doing, boss?
Listen, you said it. You said it best. I'll say this: in 2016, when all the Twitter stuff started and people started going to tailgates, they came up to me and said, "You're the Cowboy killer." And
damn,
I've been that for that long. You know, Dak's whole career, 2016.
You got Marble Red on the show.
Listen, I'm armed and ready to take on any Cowboys fan. And when I say armed, I don't mean any harm or weaponry. I mean pure debate tactics and skillful
right.
ball knowledge that really will take anyone down. So
Exactly.
I'm ready. I'm willing for them to bring it on, and I'm loving it. It's my week. It's our week for the rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm loving it.
No, exactly. And I talked with Dr. Mesa last week or earlier this week, and we were just talking a little bit about Dak's injury, and he was talking about the recovery line and that. And we've talked on this podcast for years. It seems like we never get that fully healthy Jalen Dak matchup. Even when it was Wentz and Dak, like we almost never saw the two square off. It's so rare that we actually have a healthy Eagles team and a healthy Cowboys team. I mean, thankfully, knock on wood, we got a pretty damn healthy Eagles team right now, obviously minus Jordan Mailata and everything. But unfortunately, and I will say unfortunately, Dak's on IR. Like, that's a shame. I want to beat the Cowboys because we already know, and you especially, Cowboys Twitter, Cowboys fandom, they have the excuses loaded. They're locked in. You're talking about you're armed and ready. They are armed and ready with that. Oh, yeah. With that stinking excuse 19. You got the Glock 19 in Philly. They got the excuse 19 over there in Dallas, just ready to just unload a clip. And once they said Dak on IR, they're like, all right. They already got I guarantee they already got the tweets typed up in their drafts. They probably got them scheduled out to post at 8 p.m. on Sunday, just all ready to just be like, oh, well, Dak was out. You know, he would have ate you guys up. CD would have broken Jamar Chase's fantasy score this week if we had Dak out there. Just watch. They already got him locked and loaded. But look, for those watching online, for those watching on YouTube, you see I'm in my EMS gear. I just got off the ambulance and everything. And I'll tell you what, I better leave it on Sunday because Dallas is going to need to be calling 911 because they're on life support right now. And we're pulling the plug.
I love it. I love the energy. And yeah, I know they always bring the excuses. That's the number one. The goalposts are always moving.
I mean, they're the Dallas Cope boys. Like they're coping every week, week in and week out.
Yep. And this is a bad year for them. And you know, anyone that was looking at it in an unbiased way could have kind of seen like the team didn't really get much better and they had that bad playoff loss. But then when injuries start piling up, then it's just like, well, now it's headed for a disaster. This is looking like a runaway train now.
Yeah.
And you know, they're coming and playing an Eagles team that is clicking right now and finding an identity and found an identity It's nothing but just being talented, putting talented players in position to succeed, and they've done that so well on both sides of the ball. And they're just every week it looks like they're coming together more and more.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys are going the opposite way. They have guys coming back off injury. Like, well, is this even like what Micah Parsons' first game back is this? It's like it just might look a little too disjointed on that team.
Yeah.
Together.
I mean, it's fun that Mike is coming back this week because you always see. I mean, look, you got Bronny playing in LA and all. Micah being able to play against his dad, Lane Johnson, like that's a fun headline. That's a fun story to follow. That Micah's daddy is going to be there to just be like, "Hey, welcome back, son. I'm glad that you're back out here," and he's just going to tuck him into bed at the end of the night. We got Papa Sean back on the air. We had some technical difficulties earlier. Sean, I want your opinion on all that. And then I also want your opinion. We were just talking about the Eagles rounding themselves out and looking better and better each week. That win last week against the Jags, while you can look at it on paper and be like, damn, that was almost the Browns win where the Browns sucked, but the Eagles just sucked a little bit less. But I don't view it like that at all. I view it like it was an ass whooping. It should have been one on the scoreboard if it wasn't for Nick Sirianni keeping 9 points off the board and the NFL somehow ruling that a down by contact was a scoop and score for a touchdown. But all of that encompassing, Sean, the floor is yours.
No, I completely agree with you. I thought through, 90% of the game that this was a complete ass whooping outside of the refs, complete incompetence, and outside of our analytics staff not like refreshing the page on what is an appropriate kind of analytic here. Right. The decisions to continue to go for it. Like, listen, those analytics probably worked in 2022. They may have worked in 2023, but you got to keep adding to the algorithm, man. You got to keep updating the Google spreadsheet here, right? The Excel sheet can't just be saved and going off of memory here. These situations have to be talked about throughout the week, and they have to change as time goes on, because whatever our script is for fourth down plays or 2-point conversion plays, like the league knows. The league knows what we're going for. There's probably only a couple looks. There's probably only a couple different plays we run out of those looks, and they've just caught up. So either update the playbook or update the analytics to where you feel it's a much stronger choice to just go to take the points. Right, because the only time you send Jake Elliott out there is for a 57-yarder, and by that point, even be mad at him. Who even cares if he hits it? Because it's 57-yarder. Right.
Yeah, and he's not even kicking the kickoff. I thought it's like he's never out there.
Right, you never see Jake Elliott out there. Yeah. So I thought it was a complete game on offense and on defense with a couple gaffes. I don't know if there was some execution on those fourth down plays, on those 2-point conversions, what have you. But other than those, I thought it was a complete and total ass whooping. Like I was kind of yelling at my TV, but that was just at Nick Sirianni. Like it was a bad game from an analytics standpoint, but not from X's and O's.
Right. That's a good way of putting it. Like they made the crucial mistakes you can't make to let a team hang around, even though they were outplaying them by a ton. And just one fluky referee play, well, we all already know all this. I mean, this is
exactly. This is done and moved on. I just wanted his thought real quick on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's later in the. I'm in cowboy mode. I mean, look, Nakobe bailed us out. We probably got one stolen off us with Kirk Cousins coming into town and doing that to us. But Nakobe bailed us out in that Jags game, and now I'm on to Cowboys week, and we got Coop Rush. What do you guys think? Cooper Rush is he? Look, here's my theory on backup quarterbacks, and especially a guy like Cooper Rush. Sometimes when you have a guy like Dak in there trying to do a lot and be the hero, having a guy come in that's got a clear head, can manage the game, can play on a script, everyone else kind of steps up around that kind of backup, rallies behind him. Yeah. Will the Dallas Cowboys come out and play a better game with Cooper Rush? More so like addition by subtraction. Not to say Dak's bad. We all know he's been a good quarterback, especially against us. But will Cooper Rush have this team playing steady, or will we disrupt that? What do you guys think?
I mean, look, if the Eagles' defense was anything like, if this was the game heading into 2023, even when we were 10-1 and all, I'd be like, yeah. I mean, you see how many times these backups come in hungry. It's a rivalry game. It's in their house. They're here to
Right.
prove stuff. You got the rest of their team rallying around them. I'd be a little bit scared, but the way that our defense is playing, the way that Darius Slay's back this week, full participant, I'm not all that worried. Like our defensive line, you're telling me Jalen Carter, second year into this rivalry, just absorbing it even more, getting that like, oh man, this ain't Georgia, Alabama anymore. This is Birds boys. Like this is the real deal. He's gonna be just feasting on that. Nolan Smith's having a great sophomore season. These guys are gonna be getting pressure on the D line. They're gonna be getting after him, trying to be like, all right, back up. Like you gotta earn this shit. And then when you got Cooper DeJean, you got Quinyon Mitchell, Darius Slay's going to be back out there, Reed Blankenship. And I want to ask you guys, I talked a lot about this guy with Doc, but the one guy that kind of gives me a little pessimism is CJ GJ. I thought he's been nothing but a liability this year. People want to talk about, oh, he had that big tackle on 4th down against the Falcons. That's great. He did. That's one play, and that's about the only play you can say he's made other than Isaiah Rodgers
That's
handing him the ball.
That's not true. That's not true.
He's been bad, Tom. He's been bad.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
He's been trash at tackling, and he hasn't made a ton of splash plays. But I think we really haven't seen much of him because he has been doing his job.
No,
I think we would know. We would know
every
if
week
he was doing bad.
Every week you see him get. They put him in
about
man, and you see him get him absolutely toasted.
I think there's something to be said about a guy that's in position a lot, and he, getting handed the ball on an interception is more like him being in position to make a play, and so that's how I look at it. First,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you can have
made
that
more than
play,
one
the 4th
play.
down play.
If you go back and watch the Saints game, he made plays in that game as well, in the run game specifically. The thing that's I think has plagued him this year is getting caught in those one-on-one situations with guys that he probably shouldn't be one-on-one with. I mean, he's a safety, so it's tough. They're trying to use him certain ways. They didn't have DeJean early in the season, and now he's taken some of that responsibility. And I've seen CJ be a guy that's always in position, making tackles, flying around, making plays, and just being a cog in that secondary. Another guy that can kind of do it all. So I think that's a little over exaggerated because he got beat by Mooney and Olave and Evans in consecutive weeks. I don't think you've seen that as much. And, everyone gets beat every once in a while, but I don't think you can, compile that on him. So that's my personal take on it, but you're entitled.
No, I get it. And I mean, like, I don't know your game process after the game because I know you're Tommy. I was there stakes. Like you are there. And at the games, I can see how it's not as easy to pick up on it. I don't know if you watch all 22, if you do another replay when you get home and everything. I'm telling you, watching the games on the TV, like you see him. And again, it is a lot of these one-on-ones where that's not his primary role, is not his primary responsibility. But it looks like he's like, oh, I'm one-on-one here. And he just doesn't even put in the effort. Anytime he's one-on-one, they pick up on it right away and just abuse him in that role. And I would love nothing more for him to be an all-pro. I'm not anti-CJ at all. In 2 years ago, he was nuts. He was insane. And I would love nothing more for him to be all-pro. But what I've seen is he's had some good plays, but a majority of teams picking on him. And that's just me.
I think it's 2 years ago that's kind of jading you because he was leading the league in interceptions that year before he went down with an injury. And we haven't seen that this year. We haven't seen the takeaways other than the one
I've just
off
seen
of
a lot
the
of completions
Rodgers
against him.
deflection.
I've just seen a lot of completions against him.
I don't think it's that many. If anything, I haven't seen a ton from him outside of when he's whiffing on a tackle. Like his tackling hasn't been as good as I remember it being. Not that I remember him being Brian Dawkins back.
I think in the run game, he's been a better tackler than when guys get out in open space, and he's been out and had the chance in open space to make plays. And I just don't think. Yeah. I also think that he's a guy that's been he's had some injury history, and I think there's part of his game that has tamed down a little bit in that way. And so
yeah, I mean, look, take PFF for what you want. I always think that they're a little bit. I don't trust everything. They have him ranked as 118th out of 149 strong safeties. So obviously that's well
Now,
outside of
I will
all of the
say I
starting
was
pitching.
expecting more of an impact. He's been a competent starting caliber player.
Right.
I haven't seen him be
I
that
think
impact
that's
guy that
what's
he was.
missing more. Yeah, I think because his game, I think it is what it is. You know what I mean? And I don't think he's been absolutely terrible. And whatever. I don't watch film, so PFF, whatever. I haven't seen a guy that shouldn't be on the field or anything. But I think what's missing is that we got accustomed to, like you said, him leading the league in interceptions, making those, getting a turnover every week, it seemed like. And so I think if he can make a couple more, he had the Isaiah Rodgers tip pick. So if he gets an interception this week, and then 2 weeks from now he gets one, like, then you're like, okay, I can forgive a couple of those missed coverage plays and things like that. So I'm definitely looking at him more in the coming weeks and see if he can make more plays. Like not just be a guy that's kind of in the secondary, but stand out a little bit in that playmaking way. So we'll see. I'm waiting on that from a lot of guys. I want to see Coupe de Jean's first pick. I want to see Quignon's first pick. Like, come on, we're getting hands on
We
balls.
say that.
We have three.
Listen, we
interceptions
say
all
that, but as a unit, like these guys haven't been exposed at all. Like, our secondary has been solid.
No, the
week
secondary
in and week out.
Today's episode is brought to you by Tackle Up. Tackle Up is a premier, high-quality fishing shirt, lifestyle apparel company. They're providing the best quality shirts. You see us wearing them all the time. You saw the Double B, Double D, Bring Back Dollar Dog shirt, and we're going to be debuting a Red October shirt here soon. Head on over to tackleup.net. Use promo code TALKIN215 for 15% off site-wide. And even if you're not getting one of those shirts, they have Who Rags, they have Grundens, all kinds of other incredible fishing apparel, all the things you need. I understand winter is coming, and it might not be the best time for you to be getting fishing stuff right now for you to use, but guess what? It's also coming. Christmas, Hanukkah, all of the other gift-giving seasons where you can give your loved ones the exact gift that they need, which is a Tackle Up shirt. Tackleup.net. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, we're counting on all these guys to get our first interception and have that huge splash play. But as a unit, I mean, I can't. There's only but so much I can critique the secondary.
Oh, for sure, the secondary's been playing lights out, and like Tom said, Q could have two, Coop could have one.
Right.
Like this is stuff that
one of Q's could be CJ GJ's if they didn't smash into each other.
Right. Or the other way around. That could have been Q's first. I mean, but they were both there and made the play and they didn't communicate. I'm not really that could be another play that's either CJ good or CJ bad, but it's crazy. But at the end of the day, it's like when you do have a unit playing so well, then you're also going to be jaded because one guy is going to get beat a couple times and you're going to be like, that guy's the liability. But overall, I think that they all have each other's backs, and that's why they're playing so well. Everyone's in sync. It looks great.
Hey, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see CJ go out there and I obviously if he had 3 interceptions, we'd be talking a different game.
Listen to our secondary overall with interceptions. We have 2 from Blankenship and 1 from CJ. The other 2 interceptions we have this year are Zach Bond
and Nakobe Dean,
2 linebackers. So, I mean, we aren't a turnover team. So, that's what needs to change. We need to get hands on balls, take it away. At the end of the day, that's what needs to change. And that's on everybody, not just CJ because he made a couple blown assignments or whatever the case is. But everybody has to make plays.
Yeah. No, I mean we've won the turnover battle I think in 3 straight weeks, which is the first time we've done that. And
that's more because our offense isn't turning it over at all.
Yeah. No, of course. I mean, Jalen's gone 5 straight weeks without a turnover, which they are now 14-1 in games that he doesn't turn the ball over. There's a direct correlation there. Obviously.
Remember when I said 10 yards at a time after Cleveland? I said just go. And what happened, man? Like, look at this. We're turning it around. We're playing great. And we just got to make a little better decisions down, in the red zone with these go for it or nots. And somebody's just to me, we're such a good team that I don't think we need to go for it like that. And
we really don't.
Like taking points and then you play defense and then you're just racking up points. You'll get in the end zone eventually. Like I just feel like the desperation, you're giving teams a chance because you're saying, hey, I'm gonna bank it all on one play. and that takes talent out of it. That takes everything out of it because one play, one item is such a small sample size that anything can happen on that
Yeah.
one individual entity. Like it's just one. So you gotta do what's right, I think, when you're this good. When you're desperate, when you stink, when you're the Chargers, when you're the
I also think it matters who you're going up against. I thought Doc Mesa made a great point earlier in the week, and he was like, "Look, yeah, if you're playing the Ravens and you're at a point where you're like, man, we gotta bury this team. We got to put as many points as possible because in a blink of an eye, they can come
yeah,
back and all." Like, okay, maybe, but he's like, you're playing the Jags. Like,
yeah,
take every point you can get, just because they're not going to come back from 17 down. But when
yeah,
you give them 2 touchdowns in 5 seconds over some fluky shit, like
yeah,
now it's a different scenario. Like it also depends the opponent. Like this is a team that we should have been like, oh, we can put 3 more on them. Like, yeah, if we're playing the Ravens, sure, go for the touchdown. Like try to get this point because you're going to need it. But in this game, it's just like you get 17 on them, you go 17-0 on them. Like
yeah.
you're putting that nail in the coffin.
Right,
And
right.
so it's just odd the timing he does it, and then to kick the 57-yard, you're like, well, why are you not going for it there when you could have gone up 19-0 in the red zone? And it's just the whole thing's just funky to me. Nick Sirianni, I mean, Nakobe Dean might have saved Nick Sirianni's job, to be honest. I'd be personally surprised if they let him go, but I mean, that'd be a massive, massive, massive collapse. And so
This is what this team is built to do. They're built to win these kind of games, and it's
I
crazy.
want to. I mean, I got spoiled by back-to-back blowouts, and we haven't had that in a long time. And I got my expectations lofty, especially against a bad Jags team.
Yeah, we should have
And
had it though too. We're up 22-0, and it just is a different mentality though when
yeah,
you go up like 16-0 before halftime and instead of 17. Like I'm like, damn, that's just like 2 TD. That's 8-8. That's not. Give
yeah,
me 3 possessions. I want as many. It's me personally. I don't know. You guys, I count by possessions.
yeah,
Like
it's a possessions game all day.
that's it. Like if you can go up 3 versus the chance of not going up 3, then just go up 3. You know what I mean? Like I hate this Twitter mentality of coward, go for it, do it. Like no, like just play. There's a reason football's been how it is for years and years and years, and that it's successful. Just be smart.
So
Why am I smarter than
Sean,
them?
Tom and I talked about earlier how we're actually a little bit disappointed that Dak's not playing, that we're playing a pretty banged up Cowboys team. And look, when we whoop that ass, like you ain't gonna hear me complaining. You know what I mean? We talked about, we already know the Dallas fans, the Dallas Coat boys are gonna be just getting all the excuses ready, locked and loaded. What are your thoughts heading into this game? Do you feel as confident as I do? We're going to get into our score predictions, all that later. But what are your thoughts heading into Dallas, where Tom brought up off air? We haven't won there since 2017, but we also brought up we barely ever win in New Orleans. We've never won in Cincy. We're doing things this year that we're breaking barriers. Like, what's to stop us now?
Doesn't that just mean that we're due? Right? I mean, we're
Right?
past due for a win at AT&T. I have to say I'm disappointed this week
Yeah.
because it seems like all of the cowboy trolls have been silent. They're just waiting under their bridge, right, until after the game, and then they can talk about whatever their next opponent is. They have no Dak, and therefore they have no opinion on this game. Like, how few Cowboys fans are just Dak Prescott fans? And there's not even anybody to fight with and play around with and go back and forth with
Well, they
because
fight with Tom.
well,
I
I,
fired up the well today.
I
I
saw
mean,
that.
and I'll have to piggyback off of your mentions. I'll have to look through them and start, I don't know, throwing snowballs at them or something. I don't know. I haven't seen nearly as much of it as I would have thought. It just feels like it's not like a holiday week like you would think. You get like a long weekend or something at work and everybody's kind of like looking forward to it. This for me, Cowboys week is a week to I feel like we can like fight with people kind of playfully. I look forward to getting up and active and getting worked up, and I haven't had it. There's been nobody kind of pushing and prodding, and I haven't been worked up at all. We got Cooper Rush that we're going up against. That ultimately, I know you brought it up a couple minutes ago. Usually, what you see is these guys don't have a ton of tape. right? Especially not with how the coordinators are going to play them this season specifically. So they usually end up kind of being unexpectedly good,
Yeah.
right? It's a rivalry week. Like as much as I want to say this game is going to be over by the third quarter and it's going to be 22-0, right? And we're just waiting for Nick Sirianni to blow up. I think it'll be a bit closer than most people are giving him credit for, right? I'm excited to see how this team has been progressing from week to week. It's been fun to watch. It's been fun to see, especially the defense kind of gel together as in unison. So that's just something that I've been excited for week after week. But I've been a little disappointed in how lackluster Cowboys week has been. Like
Yeah.
that's ultimately my feeling.
That was what my video was about. I came into it saying that, and you're right though. I mean, it is lackluster. So
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Quarterbacks out. It happens often. What Jake was saying, we don't see those matchups, Dak Jalen matchups. Like it just one of the two is out
Somebody's
every.
hurt, and this is another one, right? So it's like, damn, like especially like it's at the Cowboys, so that's like the ultimate test that you see. Like you're going to see the Cowboys at their best because they're at home playing against their biggest division rival.
Right, right. Sean,
And
Sean the thing is, you're right though. I think it is going to be closer, and what you said is true. Like they're going to be playing hard. They have nothing to lose now because Dak's out. So like that loose feeling of playing, and so that can go their way. My point about the Eagles is they have an identity now. They're coming into their own, and the Cowboys are kind of really disjointed. But that could just create a little margin. Like maybe we pull ahead late or something, and I hope to God we do because man, and then not to mention we have a big freaking game
Yeah.
against the Washington Commanders like
Thursday, man.
5 days after or something. So it's like
yeah,
man, like
is
this
this a
Cowboys,
trap game?
yeah, this is what this is like. That's what it is, man. It's a trap
Yeah, I mean,
game.
I
I'm so
think a lot
oh
of
my
times,
god.
especially rivalry games against backup quarterbacks, I think of something like the Tampa Bay game where that first drive, Tampa Bay just dinks and dunks all the way down the field. And you're looking at the defense going, you are so unprepared. You
Yeah,
have no clue what this team is throwing at you right now, even if it's very basic, fundamental football. And I feel like we're going to have to struggle with that some this week, despite how well our defense is playing, and despite how it feels like Dallas is unraveling as the season goes on. But we're probably going to have to take a couple drives to eat a few of them to figure out what exactly the game plan is with Cooper Rush
yeah.
and
Yeah.
stop that.
I mean, he might get to the red zone, but we're talking about Cooper Rush here, guys.
We are.
Like,
We are. And I'm not saying
he might.
we
Game
be
goes
scared.
on, Cooper Rush will run out of whatever he has early on with the adrenaline and all that. We
Yeah.
just survive. You just can't go down like 14-3 early in the game and have to survive that and then
That's
come
all.
back to the game. Like but if we go up 14-3 early, then they could kick the towel in. So it's like
I think we could go down 14-3 and come back from it. Like
yeah,
at no point
make it
do
so
we plan
tough.
on scoring less than 20 points. Like ultimately,
Yeah.
we just got to stop the team from scoring 28 points.
Yeah.
And I think we'd be fine.
No, I mean, like, look, you're telling me Rico Dowdle, Zeke Elliott, Dalvin Cook, like their run game is nothing.
Terrible, yeah.
We've been facing some damn good running backs and doing a decent job against them.
Our run defense is great. Like
I mean, Zach Bond's been making incredible tackles. Nakobe Dean's been an animal there. Our defensive line's really stepped up to stop these.
The D tackles have upped their game.
Oh yeah.
Talking about Moro Ajomo and Milton Williams and Thomas Booker. That is 3 young, good depth players right there. And they come in behind Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and do such a great job in pass rushing situations against the run.
Yeah.
They've been awesome.
No, so it's like this offense for the Cowboys is going to be so one-dimensional. They're only going to have the pass game. They always seem to try to do these end around jet sweeps kind of things. Like we may have to worry about that where it's like CD's a runner. You know what I mean? Get them going in speed and everything. But to Tom's point, if we can just play some fundamental defense and not let them take these little Dak Prescott like dump offs, like we're gonna be just fine. as long as we just don't give up these 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 8s. They're going to try to run it, get nothing, incomplete pass, and then it's going to be on Vic. Like, are you going to play 5 yards off coverage and let these guys get 9 yards on a 3rd and 8?
You gotta dare Cooper Rush to throw the ball down.
Yeah.
You can't let him go underneath. That's what he wants to do. He wants to go underneath. He wants to make quick throws out of his hands. You just have to dare him to hold the ball a little extra second and stand in there and make throws down the field.
Yep.
If you do that, you force him to do that all game, he's not going to do it. But if you give him rhythm and give him those opportunities, and you're playing soft and you're not tackling well, that's how an offense like this beats you, because they can't run the ball. They're going to have to dink and dunk and get creative and do jet sweeps and all this crazy shit. And if that works all game against us, then we probably just deserve to lose.
Yeah. Now you hit it on the nose there. Just bait him into throwing, which takes me right into my defensive player to watch. Is a guy that I think has done a pretty damn good job. I mean, his very first interception of his career, he baited Aaron Rodgers into that throw. And I'm going Reed Blankenship. I mean, this is a guy that they're gonna realize, hey, if we want to have any chance of not making this an embarrassment, we got to air it out. We can't always rely on these dink and dunks. Like, it'll work a drive or two, but the Eagles are going to adjust. They've been doing a very good job adjusting all season long. And Reed Blankenship's going to do one of these, like, oh, I'm not looking over this side of the field, or oh, I'm distracted by this guy over here, just baiting him to throw it over the middle to a tight end, to a slot receiver, to whoever is over there, and he's just going to pounce on it, jump the route, get a big interception. So my defensive player to watch this game is Reed Blankenship. Sean, who you got?
So your last segment kind of segues into my defensive player of the game really well. I think it is going to be a lot of smaller, short passes. I think it's going to be a lot of drop or wide receiver, running back passes. My defensive player to watch is the guy that called the play to seal the game last week with the interception. I'm going with Nakobe Dean. This linebacking core is going to be crucial to making sure this Cowboys team goes nowhere. If we are seeing the smartest guy on the field like he was in college football, just compounding week after week after week, it's only going to go up from here. And against a team that I think is going to try to win with short passes, I think it's crucial that he's going to play a good game, and I have every ounce of faith in the world that he's going to do just that.
Isn't that incredible? I mean, that we're at this point with Nakobe Dean.
I can't believe I'm saying it. Every week I'm like,
awesome.
I feel like I'm calling myself a liar, bullshitter.
No, it's incredible that we're like, Nakobe Dean, just get green dot, put him out there. He's incredible. Look at us. Look at us.
Not me. Not me.
Tom, who you got?
The only right answer is Jalen Carr. Cooper Beebe is a rookie center. And I've seen Cowboys fans have tweets that say something like, it's time to have a conversation about Zach Martin. Might be time to have that conversation. Jalen Carter's about to take the torch. It's not going to be a passing. He's going to take it. He's going to wreck this game between that center, that rookie Cooper Beebe, and Zach Martin's old, broken down, hurt, wounded last year of his career. Jalen Carter's coming through that thing every single time.
Damn.
Yeah, Zach Martin wasn't even practicing earlier this week. Did he practice today?
Apparently hasn't been good all year.
No.
Oh, boy.
I'll look up their injury list. Tom, stick with you. Who's your guy to watch on offense?
It's got to be the one, the only, baby. And I don't mean number. I mean Saquon Barkley.
There it is.
He's our guy this year. And, you know, there's a lot being made about the Jalen Hurts MVP graphic with Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen on it. You know, all four of those guys are quarterbacks, so they're going to be talked about as MVPs. But what do they all have behind them? Elite running games, elite running backs. James Cook, Jahmyr Gibbs, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. Doesn't mean those quarterbacks don't deserve their shine as MVPs. It's a quarterback award, but those running games are crazy crucial in the success of those teams. And Saquon's going to continue to be that for us and make us that different team. Saints broke the game open. We win in New Orleans. Cincinnati closes it out, runs a guy over, absolutely goes insane late in that game to just give him a headache. Obviously, we know what happened against the Giants. Look, it's a Saquon game. He's got to lead us in to Dallas, where we haven't won since 2017. Break the thing open.
Love it. Love that answer. And Sean, he didn't practice on Wednesday or Thursday. He practiced fully today, and Zach Martin is heading in with no injury designation.
Bring
So
them
yes,
all.
Excellent. So, as far as offensive player of the game, I really have to agree with Tom here. It's Saquon until further notice.
yeah,
2 weeks ago, the guy puts up 102 yards, and it was the quietest I've ever felt. It seemed like, and he still had triple digits on the ground. This is this team leads the league in percentage runs. I think it's at something like 54% or 55% run. Like, this is a team that if you allow them to pound the ball, they're going to pound the ball. And they have Saquon freaking Barkley on the team doing twists and turns and somersaults and hurdles, frontwards, backwards, sideways, right? As much as I want to be contrarian and give you somebody else, because I think AJ Brown might be due for an explosive week here, if I'm a betting man, I'm saying Saquon Barkley's going for like $140 with 2 touchdowns on the ground, and that would feel just like a normal game.
Yeah.
So I got to go Saquon.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's Saquon till further notice, but I'll go somewhere just like a little bit not on the offensive side, but an offensive player, and they might try to pick on him with Micah coming back. I'm gonna say Fred Johnson's gonna go out there and play incredible ball.
Wow.
He's full. There's a little worry that he wasn't going to be playing this week. He's a full participant. He's at no injury designation, and he's going to go out there and handle his shit. I mean, it's going to be a big part because Micah Parsons, is a game wrecker. And again, he wouldn't wreck the game. It'd be more of like a series wrecker. He might make it keep it close for longer than it should be before the Eagles run away with it at the end. But Fred Johnson's going to handle his business. He's not letting him get by him. He's going to be abusing this man, saying, welcome back. And then again, on the other bookends, Micah's daddy's going to be over there, Lane Johnson, just saying damn, look at Fred just handling my son right now.
I do not feel confident in that as much as you do, but I hope the best for Fred. I hope he holds up out there, and I hope we run the ball a lot because they are piss poor against the run. If you watch the Dallas Cowboys, you are in for a treat thinking what this Eagles offense can do to them because they cannot. I mean, that middle of that line is pillow soft.
It's Charmin Ultra Soft, baby. And that's why I have got it being Birds 31, Boys 10.
Wow.
Whoa.
31-10.
A blowout.
Ass whooping.
In Dallas.
Ass whooping.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. You're getting the backup quarterback bonus stats from the rest of the game for the rest of the team. You're getting the home field advantage, right? You're getting the first time going up against one of a Super Bowl contender in the Philadelphia Eagles. You're gonna be getting the best of these guys. That being said, I still don't think it's enough, but it'll be enough to make it a close game. We're not going to be sitting out here just celebrating a victory at by 6 o'clock here. Final score prediction. I've got it. Birds 28, Cowboys 21.
I like that. Mine's more close to what Sean said. I think it is kind of close all game, and we kind of pull away at the end there. I think it's 26-17 Eagles.
All right. 2 possession game. Not mad at that.
9.
Not bad at that.
We get a late field goal where it's a 6-point game, and then Sirianni finally.
Oh, we kicked the field goal.
That's the most ridiculous thing you've said all episode.
Seriously, that's crazier than 31-10.
This is the game where we're playing wow, we just need these points, and they take them, and it's it. 26.
At some point, he has to remember that they are those points are still counted towards the final score.
Yeah, I get it. There's a big movement in taking kickers out of football in fantasy football, and I think Sirianni's just got that mixed up in his head. He's like, oh, we're removing kickers from the game. We're like, yeah, from fantasy football. So we just got to get that through his head. Sean, final thought.
Go Birds. Fuck Dallas.
Love it. Tom.
I got to echo what my man Sean said. It's Dallas week. It's fuck the Cowboys. It's go Birds, and let's have a good weekend, boys.
I love it. I mean, look, it's tried and true. It's worked 4 weeks in a row. Final thoughts just got to be go Birds.